Good day! Welcome to my math class. I am Teacher Casey. For today's lesson, we're going to talk about factoring polynomials, and these are our objectives. First, factor completely the different polynomials with common monomial factor or CMF, difference of two squares, sum and difference of two cubes, the perfect square trinomials or the PST, general trinomials, and we're going to solve problems involving factors of polynomials. Let's talk about first factoring common monomial factor or CMF. Before we proceed to CMF, let's have first a drill. And this drill will help you to easily factor a CMF or common monomial factor. Let's have a recap on how are we going to find the greatest common factor of a number. Let's have this one. Find the GCF of 18 and 30. So by finding the GCF of 18 and 30, you need to list all the prime factors of each number. So when we say prime numbers, all factors, okay, all factors must be prime. So when we say prime, the only factors of a prime numbers are 1 and the number itself. Ibig sabihin po, pag sinabi nating prime numbers, ang factors lang na i-multiply nun ay 1 at saka yung sarili niya. Okay? So, if I'm going to list all the prime factors of 18, these are 2 times 3 times 3. While 30, we have 2 times 3 times 5. Then after that, you just find the common factor between the two numbers. And that is 2 and 3. Right? Yan. And then after that, you just find the product of these two common factors and therefore, the GCF of 18 and 30 is 6. Let's have number 2. Find the GCF of 12 and 16. By finding the GCF of 12 and 16, again, you just write all the prime factors. Prime factors of 12 are 2 times 2 times 3, and the prime factors of 16 are 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. And then you just encircle the common factors between the two numbers. Okay, and that is 2 and 2. We have two pairs of 2 here, so therefore, the GCF is 4. What's more, factoring out the greatest common monomial factor is the reverse of multiplying monomial by a polynomial. So as you can see here, we have the word reverse, kabaligtaran, okay? Multiply 3 quantity x plus 2 is equal to 3x plus 6. Why? By applying distributive property, you just distribute the term outside the parentheses to each term inside the parentheses. And when we say distributive property, the operation that will be applied is multiplication. So 3 times x will give you 3x. 3 times 2 will give you 6. And then you just copy the sign. 3x plus 6. Now, why is it reverse? Under CMF, ang given ngayon sa'yo ay yung 3x plus 6 o yung product. And then you need to find the factor. Let's have more elaboration of this common monomial factor. We need to factor 6m plus 8. By finding the greatest common monomial factor of each term of this polynomial form, you just need to list all the prime factors. Okay? Lilista mo ulit yung prime factors niya. So, therefore, we have, the first term is 6m, we have 2 times 3 times m. The second term is 8, so therefore, we have 2 times 2 times 2. Then again, just encircle or find the common factors between the first and the second term of our polynomial form. So, that is 2. Therefore, our common monomial factor is 2. And after that, you need to find the factored form of this 6m plus 8. Therefore, you just put the CMF outside the parentheses. And then, the term inside the parentheses are the remaining factors for each term. So, as you can see, sa first term natin, 3 and m. So, therefore, 3m siya. 3 times m will give you 3m. For the second term, we have 2 times 2, that is 4. That will be the factored form of 6m plus 8, and that is 2 times 3m plus 4. Gets? Okay, let's proceed. Another one. Let's have 3x minus 12. Okay, your first term here is 3x, and your second term is 12. You just, again, list all the prime factors. 3x or 3 times x. 12, we have 3 times 2 times 2. And then again, you just encircle the common factors here, and that is 3. That will be the CMF. Therefore, the factored form of this 3x minus 12 is 3 quantity x minus 4. Because you just put the common CMF outside the parentheses, and the terms inside the parentheses are the remaining factors of each term. So, as you can see, yung first term natin, x ang natira. Sa second term natin, 2 times 2, and therefore that is 4. You just copy the sign. Okay? Next. How about if we have x squared y squared minus 3xy squared? Okay. These all the prime factors again of your first and second term. So x squared and y squared, that is x times x, y times y. 3xy squared, we have 3 times x times y times y. And again, you just encircle the common factors between these two terms. Ayan. As you can see here, we have one pair of x. That's why we have x here. And we have 2 pairs of y. That's why we have y squared. And the term inside the parentheses are the remaining factors of each term. So, as you can see, sa first term natin na natira x, you put x here. And then, second term natin, 3, yun po. Then, you just copy the sign. Okay? How about number 3? We need to find the CMF and find the factored form of 6 quantity x minus y plus a quantity x minus y. Obviously, kita po natin na meron na tayong common factor between these two terms, no? And that is x minus y. So, therefore, if I'm going to give you the factored form of this polynomial form, we have quantity x minus y and quantity x6 plus a. Pinagsama ko yung 6 tsaka yung a. And then that is plus sign. Kasi yun, plus sign yun nasa pinagigitna ni 6 and a. Okay? Pag-iisahin nyo na lang si x minus y. Because this is the CMF of this given. Next. How about 2x cubed minus 15y to the 4th power? Again, you list all the prime factors. 2 times x times x times x. 15y raised to the 4th. We have 5 times 3 times y times y times y times y. Okay. Obviously, we don't have common factors, diba? Wala tayong nakikitang same factors between the first and second term. So, therefore, we don't have CMF. That means, kapag wala po kayo tayo nakitang common factors, no CMF, your answer must be prime. Okay? Cannot be factored out po itong ating given polynomial form. Okay? Did you get me? How about this one? We have 4x squared plus 6x plus 8. Okay? You list this each term po. List natin yung each term and their prime factors. So, we have 3 terms here, and that is trinomials, right? So, we have 4x squared. We have 2 times 2 times x times x. 6x, 2 times 3 times x. 8, we have 2 times 2 times 2. Then, after that, you need to find the common factors with these 3 terms. Kailangan po yung parehas sa kanilang tatlo. Hindi pwedeng parehas lang sa kanilang dalawa. Okay? Encircle natin yung parehas sa kanilang tatlo. So, that is 2. Therefore, 2 is the CMF. And the terms inside the parentheses are the remaining factors of each term. So, as you can see here, sa first term natin, ang natira ay 2 times x, and that means 2x squared. 3 times x, that will give you 3x. And 2 times 2, that will give you 4. And then you just copy the sign, no? Plus sign, plus sign. So, therefore, the factored form of 4x squared plus 6x plus 8 is 2 quantity 2x squared plus 3x plus 4. And also, we can have this for your checking po, no? If you want to check if your factored form is correct, it is just like you get the given divided by the CMF. Diba? 4x squared plus 6x plus 8 divided by 2. Ito yung CMF nyo, yung common factors between itong sa tatlong terms na to. And then, dapat po, maging sagot niya ay yung terms inside the parentheses. We have 2x squared plus 3x plus 4. Diba? It is the same with this one. Okay? If you want to check po if your factored form is correct. Okay, let's proceed to difference of two squares. By difference of two squares, you need to familiarize yourselves regarding squares and finding the squares and square root of a number. So, as you can see, pag sinabi nating squares, you are multiplying the number itself twice. Okay? Multiplying twice you're multiplying the number twice to itself. Dalawang beses mo ni-multiply yung number sa sarili niya. Okay? So, as you can see, we have 1 squared. So, 1 times 1, 1. 2 squared, 2 times 2 will give you 4. How about 3? 3 squared, 3 times 3, 9. 4 squared, 4 times 4, 16. 5 squared, 5 times 5, 25. 6 squared, 6 times 6, 36. 7 squared, 7 times 7, 49. 8 squared, 8 times 8, 64. 9 squared, 9 times 9, 81. 10 squared, 10 times 10, 100. 11 squared, 11 times 11, 121. 12 squared, 12 times 12, 144. 13 squared, 13 times 13, 169. 14 squared, 14 times 14, 196. 15 squared, 15 times 15, 225. 16 squared, 16 times 16, 256. 17 squared, 17 times 17, 289. 18 squared, 18 times 18, 324. 19 squared, 19 times 19, 361. 20 squared, 20 times 20 equals to 400. So, you need to familiarize yourself regarding finding the square root and the squares of a number because it will help you to find the factoring difference of two squares. Okay? So, kailangan po ma-memorize nyo yan para mas madali kayo makapag-factor ng difference of two squares. Let's have an example. We have a squared minus b squared. So, as you can see, bakit siya sinabing difference of two squares? Minus siya, and then nakasquare po yung first and second term natin. So, as you can see, if you are going to factor this one, you just have provide two parentheses, and then, ito, plus minus yung sign niya. Then, find the square root of a squared, that is a. Pinaghiwalay ko si a. Okay, pinaghiwalay ko siya, yun na siya, tsaka to. Pinaghiwalay ko rin si b. Ayan, b. Kasi kailangan nilang maghiwalay. Okay? Next. How about if we have 9x squared minus 25y squared? O, difference of two squares pa rin siya. And then, as I said a while ago, you need to provide two parentheses with plus and minus sign. Ayan. Pattern po siya. Basta nag-factor ka ng difference of two squares, you need to provide two parentheses automatically and then plus minus sign siya. Tingnan nyo lang mabuti yung given nyo, no? Yung polynomial na given. Now, finding the square root of 9x squared, that will give you 3x, right? And the square root of 25y squared, that will give you 5y. Therefore, ang magiging, ayan, 3x po yung square root ng 9x squared natin, di ba? 3x, ayan, square root. And then the square root of 25y squared is 5y. Ayan, 5y, 5y. So, as you can see here, ayun na nga po, meron na tayong sign plus and minus. So, therefore, this will be the factored form of 9x squared minus 25y squared. Okay? Let's try another one. We have quantity a plus b squared minus 25. O, naka-squared to, squared din po yung 25, no? So, as you can see, ang gagawin natin ulit, provide two parentheses having plus and minus sign. Para yun na lang terms ang hinahanap nyo. Kasi be careful with the sign. Pag po nagkamali tayo sa sign, automatically, mali na po yung sagot natin. So, pag kinuha natin yung square root ng quantity a plus b squared, we have a plus b and a plus b. Pinaghiwalay natin sila, no? Hindi ka kontrabida dun. So, yung square root naman po ng 25, that is 5, tama? Square root of 25 is 5. Ayan. So, plus 5 dito, dito po ay minus 5. Because of this pattern, yung plus minus natin. Okay. Or you can simply say, quantity a plus b plus 5 times a plus b minus 5. Okay? Either of the two. Tama po yung parehas. Okay? So, that is how are we going to factor difference of two squares. Let's proceed to sum of two squares naman po. Under the sum of two squares naman, as you can see, a while ago, we have difference of two squares. Ang pinagkaiba nila siya, of course, the sign, kasi sum na siya, so plus sign ito. How are we going to factor the sum of two squares? So, a squared plus b squared has no other factors except 1 in itself. So, therefore, your answer is prime. Okay? Hindi na po na-factored basta sum of two squares. Cannot be factored out siya. Alright, let's proceed to sum of two cubes. For this time, you need to familiarize yourselves naman po under finding cubes and cube roots. So, pag sinabi natin cube, you are multiplying the number thrice. Tatlong beses, no, sa sarili niya. So, 1 cube is equal to 1 times 1 times 1 will give you 1. 2 cube is equal to 2 times 2 times 2 will give you 8. 3 cube, 3 times 3 times 3, 27. 4 cube, 4 times 4 times 4, 64. 5 cube, 5 times 5 times 5, 125. 6 cube, 6 times 6 times 6, 216. 7 cube, 7 times 7 times 7, 343. 8 cube, 8 times 8 times 8, 512. 9 cube, 9 times 9 times 9, 729. 10 cube, 10 times 10 times 10 is equivalent to 1,000. So, itong pinamemorize ko lang sa inyo ay 1 to 10 lang po. So, you need to familiarize pa rin po ulit yung at how to square the cube and the cube root of a number. The cubes and the cube root of a number. For you to easily factor sum of two cubes and also difference of two cubes. Okay? Let's have this one. A cube plus B cube. Sum of two cubes tayo, diba? Sum plus sign siya. Of course, ang sign. And then, naka-cube po yung first and second term natin. So, this time, you need to provide two parentheses. One parenthesis consists of two terms and longer parenthesis pa po consists of three terms. And don't forget this pattern. Basta nagpa-factored ka ng sum of two cubes, ang sign niyan ay plus, minus, plus. Okay? Alright, so the first thing that you're going to do is you just cube the first term. Ito. So, A cube, pag cube root nito ay A, ito siya. Ang cube root naman po ng B cube ay B. Okay? Next, how are we going to find the terms inside this parenthesis that consists three terms po, no? Kailangan po, tama yung, yung pagkuha mo ng cube root mo dito. Kasi pag mali ito, mali na rin yung longest part mo ito. Okay? As you can see here, we have A, you square the first term. Squared mo tong A, kaya nagkaroon ka ng A squared. Tapos, pag multiply mo yung first and second term, A times B, AB. Katulad ng ginawa mo sa A, ni-squared mo to, diba? Squared mo lang din yung B. That's why we have B squared. So, therefore, ang factored form ng A cube plus B cube is quantity A plus B and quantity A squared minus AB plus B squared. Okay? Don't forget this pattern of sign. Bakit? Kasi, automatic na po yung sign na yan. Para hindi ka na mahirapan, lagi ka mag-provide na ng ganito. Tapos, i-supply mo na lang siya ng terms. Okay? I-supply mo na lang ng mga numerical coefficient and then the variable. Okay? Ayan po siya. Alright? Let's proceed. Let's have more. How about if we have 8x cubed plus 27y cubed? So, ang gagawin mo naman dyan, ganun lang ulit. Provide ka po ng two parentheses. Yung first parenthesis po ay consists of two terms, tapos plus sign siya. And then, yung mas malaki pong parenthesis consists of three terms. We have minus plus. At take note of this sign, plus, minus, plus. When you are factoring sum of two cubes. Kunin mo lang yung cube root po ng 8x cube. And the cube root of 8x cube is 2x. And then, kunin mo lang din ang cube root ng 27y cube. And the cube root of 27y cube is 3y. Okay? Again, kailangan po, make sure po na tama po itong kinuha mong cube root nitong first and second term. Kasi pag mali na to, magkakamali ka na sa term nito. Okay, nung second parenthesis mo na nagko-consist ng 3 terms. Kasi doon ka nakukuha ng ilalagay mo dito. So, dito, you just square the first term, 2x. Quantity, di ba? Squared mo tong dalawang to. That's why we have 4x squared. Tapos, wag multiplyin mo siya. 2x times 3y will give you 6xy, right? Yung 3y squared mo lang din, so that's why we have 9y squared. So, a factored form of this 8x cubed plus 27y cubed is quantity 2x plus 3y and quantity 4x squared minus 6xy plus 9y squared. Let's proceed to difference of two cubes. Under difference of two cubes, di ba meron tayong sum of two cubes? Sa difference of two cubes naman, syempre, minus na siya. Tapos naka-cube yung first and second term natin. So, the same procedure lang din katulad ng sum of two cubes, but may difference sila sa sign. Okay? Provide again two parentheses. Yung first parenthesis natin consists of two terms. Yung other parenthesis natin consists of three terms. So, para isuplayan na lang natin ng coefficient dyan. Okay. So, take note of this sign. Minus, plus, plus na siya. Hindi na plus, minus. Plus, minus, plus, plus. Under difference of two cubes. Kunin mo lang yung cube root ulit ng first term and second term mo. The cube root of first term, which is a cube, is a. The cube root of b cube is b. Now, by finding the term to this part, yung parenthesis with three terms po, you square the first term, yung a squared mo, kaya a squared to. Tapos mag-multiply mo yung first and second term, a times b, ab. Tapos yung b, squared mo rin, so that's why we have b squared. So therefore, ang factored form po ng ating a cube minus b cube is quantity a minus b and quantity a squared plus ab plus b squared. How about if we have x cubed minus 64? Teacher, the difference of two cubes ba to? Oh, hindi siya sum ha. Difference siya kasi minus. Yes. As you can see, naka-cube po yung x natin. Then 64, meron siyang cube root, diba? Yung 64 natin. Anong cube root ng x cube? Ang cube root ng x cube ay, of course, x. Ano ang cube root ng 64? Of course, 4. O, yung pinaprovide nating parenthesis and then the sign. Careful kayo kasi po, pag mali na po yung sign natin, mali na po sagot natin, of course. Napaka-importante po ng sign. Kaya pag nag-factored ka ng difference of two cubes, ito po yung pattern. Parenthesis consists of two terms and another parenthesis consists of three terms. And the sign are minus, plus, plus. Para ilalagay mo na lang yung mga coefficient niya. Now, after you get the cube root of x cube, which is x, and the cube root of 64 is 4, you square the first term, yung x. Squared mo tong x, kaya nagkaroon ka ng x squared. Tapos mag-multiply mo yung dalawa. 4 times x will give you 4x. Tapos squared mo rin tong 4, that's why we have 16. Okay, so therefore, ang factored form po ng ating x cubed minus 64 is quantity x minus 4 and quantity x squared plus 4x plus 16. If the problem is a trinomial, you square of a binomial daw po ang sagot. Let's have an example. We have a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. This time, you just find the square root of the first and last term. Huwag na po nating likutin yung middle term. Ano ang square root ng a squared? Diba a? Anong square root ng b squared? Diba b? Ayan, pinaghiwalay ko na si a, pinaghiwalay ko si b. Or, ang shortest way na para isulat siya is square a binomial. Quantity a plus b squared. That will be the factored form of a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Next, let's have x squared plus xx plus 9. Again, ang sabi ni teacher, kunin lang po natin yung square root ng first and last term. Wag na po nating likutin yung middle term. What is the square root of x squared? X. Hiwalay na si x. Ngayon, anong square root ni 9? Diba? 3. O, yan, 3. Then, plus sign, plus sign. Or pwede natin isulat dyan ay quantity x plus 3 squared. Yung naka-square of binomial siya. Next, let's have 4x squared minus 20xy plus 25y squared. You please take note of the sign. Ayan po, minus and plus na yung sign niya. Hindi na pare-parehas na plus sign, no? Kunin lang ulit natin yung square root ng first and last term. Huwag natin ilikotin yung middle term. What is the square root of 4x squared? 2x. Ayan, 2x. Pinag-iwalay ko na. What is the square root of 25y squared? 5y. 5y. But this time, yung sign po ay minus sign. Okay, because of this, 4x squared minus 20xy. Okay? Or just simply say, quantity 2x minus 5y squared. Naka-square of binomial yung sagot. Ng factored form ng 4x squared minus 20xy plus 25y squared. How about if we have if a is equal to 1, use reverse FOIL or the TAE method. What do we mean by TAE method? That is what we call the trial and error method. FOIL yung first, outer, inner, last. You're going to use the FOIL method when you are multiplying two binomials. We have x squared plus 7x plus 12. Ayan. The first thing that you're going to do is you just find the factors of your, or list all the factors of your last term, and that is 12. Lilista mo raw lahat ng factors niyan. Ibig sabihin, dalawang number na pag binag-multiply, ang sagot ay 12. So, what are they? We have 1 times 12, negative 1 times negative 12, 2 times 6, negative 2 times negative 6, 3 times 4, negative 3 times negative 4. And then, para malaman mo kung anong gagamitin mo dyan na factors, kailangan po ay you think of these two numbers na pag pinag-add po, ang sagot ay middle term po. Middle term ng iyong numerical coefficient ng iyong middle term, which is 7. So, ano ba yung mga factors nito? Na pag pinag-add ko, 7 ang sagot. And that is 3 and 4, diba? 3 times 4 will give you 12 and 3 plus 4 will give you 7. So, therefore, ang factored form po ni x squared plus 7x plus 12 is x plus t and quantity x plus 4. Okay? Let's have more. How about if we have x squared minus 7x plus 12? O, ulit, ilista lang po natin lahat ng factors na pag lang 12. Na dalawang numbers na pag pinag-multiply mo, ang sagot ay 12. And these are 1 times 12, negative 1 times negative 12, 2 times 6, negative 2 times negative 6, 3 times 4, and negative 3 times negative 4. Ang numerical coefficient ng middle term mo ay negative 7. Alin dito sa factors ng 12 na pag pinag-add mo, ang sagot ay negative 7. And that is negative 3 times negative 4. Tama? Kasi pag pinag-add nyo siya, negative 3 plus negative 4, that will give you negative 7. So, therefore, ang factored form po nito ay quantity x minus 3 and quantity x minus 4. Okay? Let's have more. How about if we have x squared plus 3x minus 18? Lista natin ulit lahat ng factors ng negative 18. Okay? Negative 1 times 18, 1 times negative 18, negative 3 times 6, 3 times negative 6, negative 2 times 9, and 2 times negative 9. Okay. And then, you look for the numerical coefficient ng middle term mo, which is 3. Ayan dito sa factors ng negative 18 na pag pinag-add ko, ang sagot ay positive 3. Okay. That is negative 3 times 6. Tama? So, therefore, ang factored form po nito ay quantity x plus 6 times quantity x minus 3. Diba? Kasi positive 6 plus negative 3, positive 3. Positive 6 times negative 3, negative 18. Pinaghiwalay mo lang tong x squared. You get the square root, kaya x and x siya. Okay? How about if we have x squared minus 3x minus 18? You list all the factors of negative 18, no? Okay, so we have 1 times negative 18, Negative 1 times 18. 3 times negative 6. Negative 3 times 6. 2 times negative 9, and negative 2 times 9. And then, tingnan po natin sa mga list of factors natin ng negative 18 na pag pinag-add naman natin yung mga factors na to ay negative 3 ang sagot. And that is 3 times negative 6. Kasi po, 'di ba? 3 plus negative 6, negative 3 ang sagot. Yung numerical coefficient ng middle term mo. So therefore, ang factored form niyan ay quantity x minus 6 times quantity x plus 3. Okay, let's talk about solving word problem involving factoring polynomials. This is the problem. The area of a square is numerically equal to twice to its perimeter. Okay? Yung area daw ng square ay ang equivalent sa 2 times ng perimeter. Okay? Area of a square is equal. Okay? Area of a square is equal to twice to its perimeter. Find the length of a side of the square. For the solution, you need to sketch a square and let S represent the length of each side. Ito yon. Each side yan ng square, di ba? Four-sided polygon yon. For equal sides, ito yung S represents the side of the square. Then the area is represented by S squared. Of course, yung finding the area of A square, area of A square is equal to S squared, di ba? Yun yung formula. And then the perimeter is for S. By finding the perimeter of A square, ang formula doon ay perimeter of a square is equal to 4S. Diba yan yung formula niya? Now, yung S squared natin, diba? Area of a square is equal to twice to its perimeter, sabi dun sa problem. Kaya may 2 dun. The times mo siya sa 4S kasi represents the perimeter of a square. Okay? Next thing is, you just simplify po. Diba? S squared. 2 times 4S will give you 8S. And then, S squared, equate it to 0. S squared minus 8S is equal to 0. Okay? Kaya naging minus yan kasi i-transpose mo tong 8S to the other side of the equation. Kaya magpapalit siya ng sign kasi tumawid siya ng equal sign eh. And if factor natin siya, factor natin tong S squared minus 8S is yan. So, itong S squared natin, as you can see, ang common factor nila ay S, diba? Yan o, parehas nila. CMF natin ay S. So, ilagay mo dun sa, outside the parenthesis yung S. Common factor nila yun eh. Then, matitira dyan ay S minus 8 na lang, diba? So, if you want to check po, S times S, S squared. S times negative 8, negative 8S. O, di tama. And then, of course, equate natin sa 0. Yung naging natin, factor, diba? S is equal to 0 and S minus 8 is equal to 0. Itong S na to, ito na yung galing doon. Is equal to 0. Itong S minus 8, equate mo lang din sa 0. O, you can say that S is equal to 0 or S is equal to 8. So, because 0 is not a reasonable answer to the problem, therefore, the solution is 8. So, ibig sabihin po, ang hinahanap natin na, the length of each side is 8. Okay? Let's try another problem. The sum of the ages of the father and son is 39. So, ibig sabihin, pag pinag-add ko daw yung age nung tatay at saka nung anak niyan lalaki ay 39. If the father is 3 less than the square of the son's age, how old are they? If the father is 3 less than the square of the son's age, how old are they? Let's have the solution. Ayan. Let us have the solution. So, let us have the solution from the problem. So, let x be the son's age and x squared minus 3 is the father age. Bakit teacher x squared minus 3? Kasi di ba sabi sa problem, 3 less than the square of the son age. Di ba yung son age ay x, squared natin. Kasi sabi niya dyan, 3 less than pa, di minus 3, x squared minus 3. Next. So, the equation, pag nag-form tayo ng equation, we have x squared minus 3 plus x is equal to 39. Pinag-add kasi natin yung father and son age eh. And sabi doon sa problem, ang equivalent nun ay 39 pag pinag-add. Okay, kaya that's why we have an equation, x squared minus 3 plus x is equal to 39. And of course, we need to equate it to 0. So, yung 39, i-transpose natin to the other side of the equation. That's why we have negative 39. And then, i-add mo siya sa negative 3, that's why we have negative 42. Okay? Tatranspose mo tong 39, kaya magiging negative 39. And then, i-combine mo siya sa negative 3. So, negative 3 plus negative 39 will give you negative 42. And of course, kailangan natin i-factored to. I-factored form natin tong trinomials natin. 'Di ba? You square the first term. Yan, square the first term. And the xx. Tapos, think of a factor po. No? Isip ka ng factor ng negative 42 na pag pinag-add mo ay positive 1 ang sagot. Kasi x yan. Ang numerical coefficient yan, 1. So, ang factor niyan ay 7 times negative 6. Kasi 7 times negative 6 will give you 42, 'di ba? 42 siya. And of course, pag pinag-add ko yung factor natin na 7 plus negative 6, that will give you positive 1. Okay? So, therefore, we need to equate it by 0. So, we have x is equal to negative 7 and x is equal to 6. The solution is 6 since there is no negative age. Diba? Thus, negative 7 cannot be considered kasi wala naman po negative age. So, the age of the sun is 6 and the father age is x squared minus 3, diba? Kasi, 3 less than the square of the sun age. So, 6 years old yung anak niya lalaki. And then, isa-substitute lang natin yung x is equal to 6. Diba? 6 yung x. Dito sa x squared minus 3. This will be the father's age. So, 6 squared minus 3. So, 36. 6 squared is 36 minus 3. That will give you 33. So, if you want to check, diba sabi dun sa problem na pag pinakad natin yung father and son's age is equivalent to 39. So, 33 plus 6 will give you 39. Gets? Okay. For your reflection, wala na. Okay, for your reflection, ayan, I understand that, I realize that. And, thank you and God bless you all.